Welcome to Speak Stride English, the best place to help you learn English.
The Silent Whispers. Chapter 1. The Perfect Illusion. Julia Greenfield seems to have everything any woman could dream of. A beautiful home, a successful husband, and a luxurious life in the city. Yet, amid all the beauty and wealth, Julia feels an unsettling emptiness. She once loved Andrew deeply, but over time, their relationship has shifted from love to something resembling a transaction. Andrew, her husband, is a driven businessman whose career is his obsession. Work dominates his conversations, his thoughts, and ultimately their lives together. Julia feels like an accessory in his grand life, just another decoration in the house. Every evening when Andrew comes home, his presence feels like a ghost, so immersed in his work that he rarely notices Julia's own unspoken struggles and fading spirit. Each night, Julia sits alone in their luxurious living room, reflecting on what once was, longing for warmth and love, yearning to be seen and understood. Chapter 2. The Unexpected Meeting. One crisp autumn night, Julia, unable to bear the suffocating atmosphere at home, decides to go for a walk to clear her mind. She stumbles upon a small cafe, warm lights glowing and soft jazz playing in the background. As she sips her coffee, she notices a man sitting nearby, a well-worn book in his hands. This man, Ethan, has a quiet allure and a calm face. As he reads, he seems lost in thought, only glancing up now and then. When he catches her looking, their eyes lock for a brief, electrifying moment. Julia quickly looks away, but the image of him stays with her, imprinting in her mind. Chapter 3. The Growing Connection. The next evening, almost without thinking, Julia finds herself drawn back to the same cafe. She walks in, and to her surprise, Ethan is there again, sitting in his usual spot. Her heart races when he smiles and invites her to sit. Their conversation begins with casual pleasantries, but quickly dives into deeper topics. Ethan listens in a way that Andrew never has, with unbroken attention and a genuine interest that surprises Julia. He offers her a warm, understanding gaze, and Julia feels, for the first time in years, that she is truly being heard. Night after night, their meetings become a secret ritual. Julia knows she's venturing into dangerous territory, but she can't resist the pull. Ethan seems to understand the pain and loneliness she feels, and each meeting rekindles a part of her spirit, the part that had been buried under the glossy yet soulless life she shares with Andrew. Chapter 4. The Emotional Tornado. As Julia finds herself increasingly drawn to Ethan, the guilt starts to weigh on her. Every night, returning to Andrew feels like she's deceiving him and herself. She knows she has crossed a line, but finds herself helplessly bound to Ethan, who makes her feel alive and valued. One evening, sensing Julia's inner turmoil, Ethan breaks the silence. As they watch the sunset from a hill overlooking the city, he gently takes her hand and asks, "Julia, are you happy?" The question pierces her soul. Julia's heart aches as she realizes that she hasn't felt true happiness in years. She doesn't answer, just gazes into his eyes, knowing she can't keep living this lie. Chapter 5. Confrontation and Confession. Over time, Julia's guilt and emotional struggle become harder to conceal, and Andrew begins to notice. He grows suspicious and one evening decides to follow her. That night, he finds her laughing and talking freely with Ethan, a side of her he hasn't seen in years. Outraged, Andrew confronts Julia at home. Tears stream down her face as she confesses her loneliness, the emptiness in their marriage. Andrew is stunned, hurt, but refuses to acknowledge his role in their failing relationship. Instead, he coldly reminds her of her responsibilities and insists that she maintain the appearance of their perfect marriage. Chapter 6. The Heart's Choice. Julia knows she must make a decision: remain with Andrew in a hollow marriage, or leave and pursue her own happiness with Ethan. After a long, restless night, she finally chooses to leave. She decides to let go of the luxurious but lifeless life she shares with Andrew to embrace the possibility of a future with Ethan. A future that holds warmth, love, and genuine companionship.
Epilogue: A New Dawn. Months later, Julia is living a new life. It's modest compared to her past, but filled with love and simplicity. With Ethan by her side, she experiences peace and joy she never thought possible. Julia knows there will be challenges ahead, but for the first time, she feels free to be herself and hopeful about the future.